Okay, let's begin. Hang on, I got it up. Okay, there we go. Audio's looking good. Lower that volume there. Pop out chat. Let's see. There we go. Okay, welcome back, video gamers, to the game stream. So today I want to encode some of my feedback from, I did a playtest yesterday, and it turned out pretty well. A kid played for about 3 hours. And so that was quite a good sign, I think, that the game is actually, like, fun to play for a while. He mostly played with the car, so what I'm going to do is basically, let's do play test submission. No, playtest feedback. And I'm going to go in order of what I think is the most important to least important, or at least easiest to solve to least important. So, clearly tutorialize. Or no, clearly indicate showing dialogue. Showing photos in dialogue. Because basically, what I need now is, if we go to our dialogue viewer, if we go to UI, what I should have is a clear prompt for when the player, where is my, I'll figure that out later. But basically, like, indicate, or make the prompt larger. Only have it visible when we have photos to show. Have an indication of, or when we have new dialogue, or new photos. And then also, there's a few other things that I should do while I'm doing this. So, like, disable using more photos. Or only allow using photos once in... What should it be? Yeah, disable using photos multiple times in dialogue. Basically, I was having issues where a player showed a photo and then found the information they thought they needed, and then showed another photo without the status updating. So what I should probably do is just have it so that it doesn't let you use another photo until that branch of dialogue is completed. Because I have already had before where, like, people have been confused when there's, like, important dialogue that they're missing from showing a photo. Because admittedly, the way that I do it, it's so unstructured where, like, you can show a photo at any point in dialogue, which is kind of not actually useful most of the time, but I don't know what I would do to make it more structured, other than remove the special dialogue at all, and just have the ability to show a photo as a dialogue option, which I could do, but that would heavily limit when you can show photos, so I don't want to do that. Because, yeah, basically, then I'd have to have a, like, show photo dialogue option for every branch of conversation. Yeah, I don't want that. But let's see, what are other things that I want here? So, have indication when we have new photos, only have the prompt visible when we have photos to show. So let's say, improve photo showing UI. So I think if I make the ambient UI for that good enough, that'll be good enough. But okay, what are some other things? Oh yeah. Improve direction. So for example, for the raccoon, journal note should specify he takes food. And then for the for Mr. Weston, Hint that he enjoys nature or something, maybe? Or that he would, like, be at the cave. Because now the challenge is less finding him, and it's more like getting past the raccoon as well. Oh yeah, cutscene with Mr. Weston. So, like, cones. Have a cutscene when the cones are no longer used, or when the cones lose their power. Because, yeah, I wrote that dialogue before I actually had the cutscene system, so I just didn't make a cutscene for it. And then some soft lock prevention. I guess it's probably going to be remove collision on the shelves inside the fridge and freezer. Basically, players were locking themselves in the fridge and freezer, and it happened multiple times where they would be able to get into the freezer but then not out of it. So I had to no-clip them out. And I do have the, like, I'm stuck button, but I'd prefer if that wasn't needed as often. Also, I'm kind of thinking I should have a less annoying way of, like, doing the I'm stuck, where it's like, or like when you fall into water, there should be a less annoying place to respawn at. Because, yeah, right now there's no checkpoints or anything in the game. Do I want that? I could do that. I could make any chair that you sit on a reset point. But that could be even further. Let's see. And then there's some bugs. Let's put those bugs in here. Visual bugs. So these were basically zoom out when cutscene viewer grabs the camera. And then player is invisible when they zoom in and out while placing stickers. And then also remove... Oh yeah, let's put that in like visual improvements. Remove the enlarging tween on the sticker UI. Make stickers imaginary. Have a zoomed in UI that always shows the controls. Small, like. Okay, what are some other things that I need? Oh yeah. I want to have some improved game feel. Or like slow the player down. So this will be basically when zoomed in, when placing stickers, when in dialogue. Because I want it to be... I really like the feeling of being able to like walk around in dialogue, but players have accidentally like forgotten about dialogue and just walked away, and then they didn't realize they were still talking to a character. So what I should do is I should make it so that they're clearly moving slower, and then they're like, oh, I'm still in dialogue. You know, just to have some subconscious thing to do that. And then also, I think with the visual improvements here, so we'd have basically prompts, time, like current time, I think. Something funny in the corner, maybe. See, and the text is also a bit hard to read. I don't know if I should just get a new font. But okay, there's a lot of extra, like, activities here. But I think for now, these will be a good start. Oh, wait, no. And then there's also another thing that's quite important. Make sure the... Oh, wait, no, but that's for the... I should put that in here anyway. Of the zombie actually works. Basically, if we go back to the world... Actually, do we have Blue's house as a separate place now? We don't. That'll be another thing eventually. But for now, let's start with our main attractions. Which actually, I think should be the soft lock preventions. Yeah, so let's just go to, like, mini fridge. Or blender. Alright. Hang on, I have to fiddle with the puzzle, or like... Yeah, yet again, I have to figure out how to move my microphone cable so that it doesn't annoy me. How do other people do this? How do other people manage, like, cables? Like, what am I doing that's not correct? It's just always a rat's nest, but okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have these not have collision at all, because, yeah, for some reason, the player can just squeeze into here, even though there's these shelves, but they cannot get out. Because the collision then, like, applies for some reason. But okay, if we go to this mini fridge now, these shelves, okay, now these shelves are good. And then we go to, what, fridge 1? Let's do a dash S body with nothing. Perfect. Okay. Because, yeah, it's funny. The kid who was playing, in the very intro area, he spent a decent amount of work to jump into the freezer and then close the door behind him, and that's what triggered the first instance of this. But then, yeah, 3 other people wound up locking themselves in the fridge deliberately and getting stuck. Oh, I see why I get confused by the chat. There's a little, like, spam bar at the top of it that's always visible, and it keeps changing. Okay, that's why I keep getting confused by it. Because it says, like, gift a subscription, blah, blah, blah. Subscribe to Twitch Plus. Give us more money. But okay, what am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm starting a new game. And it would be funny to also have an achievement for getting stuck in the freezer. Because, yeah, he basically did that. So now, yeah, I think it's fine to just ignore the collision on the thing. We just chop our head off with it. Because eventually there'll also be, like, stuff in the freezer, and that stuff can have collision to block you. So, yeah. What else am I looking for? I guess, okay, yeah, remove that. Make sure photo of zombie actually works. That, I guess for now that's going to be in the world, which is unfortunate. Actually, hang on. I'm just going to do the same thing that I did in the actual test, or during the play test. If we go to Madame Blue, should be under M. Photo. Just make this one a photo of the zombie. Because eventually we can have, like, the peppers do something else or whatever. You know, a photo with the peppers. But okay. So that should be good now. Approve photo showing UI. Okay. This will be where we start actually getting, like, important stuff. So, dialog viewer bubble. Does this have the UI for this? It does. Okay. So this should not be small. And this should also have some other thing. Oh, wait, and also I wanted to have more explicit, a finger or something pointing to the photo. Photo to use. Because, yeah, I think this will be important. In fact, what if I just go to paint right now and just draw a finger pointing to it? This will be, what, a 16 by 16? Then we need to press, like, F25 to bring up the, this in a separate window. Let's change the size of this to 32 by 32. How do I make... Basically looks like a finger. Yeah, now that I know that all this time, the thing that's been, like, really confusing me in my periphery is just Twitch spamming me to, like, do more things. Like, because now it's saying create a clip in the top left, or in the top of the chat. Fun life. But okay. What I want now is I want to, make this look more like a finger. Does that look like a finger? That looks like it'd be a finger from a distance, I think. And then I want to add a white background, I think, to it. Or maybe it's fine... Or no, a white outline to it. Which means I probably should have been, using what I typically use, which is Krita, to actually add the, like, layer style, but oh well. I can just add it manually. Because I have to do, like, a nicer outline anyway here. And now I'm thinking about at the ends of eras. Because I think Kitty found a camera. This playtest was reassuring in that people do enjoy the game. It got a decent crowd around it. And yeah, a kid playing for multiple hours when there were other games to play is a good sign. So yeah, that did help reassure me. So now I'm more concerned about At the Ends of Eras still. Because that's a game where I still feel like I basically haven't actually, like, found the game yet. Okay. That's a little hand. We can just save that as hand. Yeah, I guess it might just be forever an experimental game. Or like a test bed for like other tools and stuff. Man, I want like my cords to not rub against my fucking arm always. Okay, project. I think this would just be UI status maybe or something. I don't know where it'd be. Theming? Because what I want is if we go to camera, no, gallery. What the hell am I looking for? Does the status UI just have if we go to gallery here? Oh, this is just a list. What if we had one of those follower things? So if I go to the sticker UI. And I mean, while we're now, I shouldn't do the classic while we're here. I should do something else that'll completely fucking break it. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get one of these followers, because these should have a. Doesn't it have a focus? I swear I had a thing that would actually like. I see how this works. I can just make it so that it always focuses on a different thing. Okay, so I'm just going to grab this follower. The breaker and the follower. So that way it always has like a free UI. Oh, wait, but that means that it's not going to be hidden by default. Fuck me. Hang on. I don't like Godot. No, I think what I can do is I can have this here as a child of the gallery. And then what I can do is this will try to get a box here, but we can then add a texture rectangle. And we can add the hand. There's a little thing. What? Oh, right, because it doesn't detect the file type. Okay, can we try it again? There we go. And then this will actually not be... Can I, like, move this? Okay, there we go. So let's do our transform here. I'm going to say this should still be 32 by 32. But it should be like negative 28 by negative 28. So that way it's still pointing into the thing. Actually, I'm going to do 64 by 64. And then we're going to do negative 50 by negative 50. And that seems good. And then this should be anytime we're in the gallery. Ugh. Get viewport dot GUI focus changed connect on focus changed. The function on focus changed f control, and then it'll be if mode equals mode.gallery gallery follower follow f. There we are. So that should now follow the owner of this control. Okay, so if we go back to UI, so that should have added a little arrow. And actually, don't I already have a thing where it, like, plays a sound when I do that? But okay, we now need to get the thing. So I should also improve the intro here. Just have some more, like, interesting interactive stuff. Alright. So if I just did... There we go. And now it's way more explicit as to what's happening. I like that. Except for we don't actually need this panel to have any style now. So we can just do layout. No. Theme overrides. Style. This is now going to be a style box empty. Because we don't even need the panel at all. We just need the hand. Because we already have a thing to, like, focus, like, properly on all the buttons. Yeah, this should help keep the player's brain active. Yeah, that should help with that. And then, admittedly, I could just have this on the entire UI, I think. I'd be fine with that, honestly. Well, no. The only other place that we need it is the challenge photos, which, yeah, you know, I'd be fine with that. So yeah, we'll just put the follower up here. Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait, yes. Yeah, this should be fine. Yeah, so we'll just do main UI control there. And then I'm also going to have it do, if there's nothing to follow, visible equals target not equal to null. And actually, we can just do visible. We don't need to have the same logic in two places. But alright. So now we have the ability to... We don't even have any challenge photos right now, but eventually we will. Yeah, this should make it simpler. Okay, yeah, that helps a lot with figuring out, like, where you are. Except for the fact that, then when there's no focus, Mode change, So is this not being set when we do, this? Interesting. So we need some way of, I think what I'm going to do is when the mirror, or when we set a mode. Tab change set mode. Oh. Basically, we need to have the mode, Why do we have this all the way away from everything else? That's weird. Okay. But basically, main UI control, follower, grab, or like follow null. We just briefly follow null, and then we will re-enable it if we need it. Okay. It is slightly annoying that it always goes back to the start. So I think what I could do is I could have it as well. Each mode keeps track of what you were doing before, but I don't think I'll do that. But okay, let's take it. Let's get a challenge photo from Bill. Oh, wrong one. Well, hang on. Is that because if we go to the old man, I've had that problem before with the car as well. Oh, okay, so it is the last one. So okay, because the bird isn't even part of the photo. Okay. Oh wait, no. The whole thing that I'm testing is this. Okay, there we go. Alright. There we are. Now we have the car. Were there any issues with the car? No, I think that's good. So that is one thing there. Something pointing at that. So that way it's very clear to see what you're actually, like, looking at. Yeah, that helps a lot. Especially when we have, like, new things as well. It'll be important to, like, see that. And I think, I'll keep this one as a little rectangle, I think, because, well, will I? I know. I'll put the little finger there as well. So if we go to sticker UI, we can just put the kid named Finger right there. This one's going to be, I think this one is going to be 30 by 30, or 32 by 32. With like negative 28. And that should, if I'm lucky, work. Okay. So yeah, now that also shows you which sticker you're looking at. Which will eventually be useful. Yeah, it's very cool. The kid also found the back rooms in the game. And then spent a while trying to get back there. Okay, why is that? Why was that visible? Was that because, hopefully that was because of a bug. Or no. Hopefully that was, like, because of me, like, fiddling with the scene. But okay. Yeah, so I like that. I don't like the sticker UI growing a little bit, but I'm gonna ignore that for now. Oh wait, actually, let's make sure the prompt is bigger. I forgot to actually check that. And then we should also make sure the prompt is hidden when you are in, or when a character has nothing to show. Also, why is there a... Why did this come back? I'm gonna assume that's because of, something or other. But okay, now we have a use photo there. And so I'm gonna have, that only visible if the character actually has a photo visible. So when do we calculate when things are new? I think that's in here in the gallery whenever we draw the photo list. Yeah, update photo list. I think this does a bunch of stuff, probably. Populate photos. Make photo button. Is this where we do it? Okay, okay, dialog eval find item. Okay, so that's where we do that. Ooh. So maybe what I should do is I should cache this info because I need this elsewhere. Because another thing that a player wanted that would be quite more, or a bit more complicated, would be basically when you're in the photo gallery here, have some way of showing, like, this is the people who would like to see this photo. I won't do that for now. Basically, what I'll do is I'll just go through the photos here and ooh, how do we do that? Do I want the dialog viewer to be aware of the status menu? So I can avoid duplicating work and basically just have it so that, like, when you start a conversation with a character, it gets all the info here. Hmm. Hmm. I'm gonna have a different thing here, though. Hang on. If dialog dot, or no, UI dialog dot eval dot special dialog allowed. So we're gonna do, like, if not this dot text equals translates already talking about a photo. Or let's say can't use a photo right now. And then we're going to have be disabled equals true. So basically, I'm going to have it so that NPCs disable special dialogue by default. But first of all, allow special allowed. Okay, and that should be cleared at the start. Okay, so what I'm going to do is then anytime you oh wait, but we already have, okay, I see. Let's actually hang on. I'm trying to figure out where I want to actually have this photo list here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to free all the photos. Any photos equals false. We're going to do actually here if UI dialog eval, not the eval, or let's actually just say eval dot special dialog allowed. So here we're not even going to bother getting the photos if we don't have that. And then we're going to do if not UI dialog eval special dialog allowed t text equals translate can't use a photo right now. There we go. And that way I can actually disable these quite easily. But okay, let's have, let's actually see if this stuff works first. Oh, wait, no. It won't work because it doesn't do anything yet. Because we don't have any instance where we disable special dialogue. What I should do now, though, is when we use a photo, so if we go to use photo, so go to special, show context, this, what I should do is then, like, go to special here. Oh, but this goes directly to the dialogue viewer. But I can go to my dialogue viewer bubble and we can override that by just doing like function go to special this and then like disable, oh wait, no, super go to special fn args use fallback. We'll do that, and then like if r disable or eval disable special dialogue return r. There we go. So this should now work. Basically what this should do is well, disable special dialogue when we've started a special dialogue. So that way I can't like have nested photo conversations. Also, why is the camera? How did I break the camera? What was the other thing that was broken? That I was worried about was like some minor thing. Something to do with basically like having this open and then getting, I know what it was. It was basically having that open and then getting a item like that. And then, okay, so that doesn't do anything. But that does beg the question as to why the camera is no longer going away. Because it feels like I didn't change anything there. I'm quite sure I didn't. So, like, why is camera here? Okay, because this camera pickup, if we go into here, if not item, else super ready, get stat items item.id. I did change this actually. So what this is saying is if engine is editor hint return, if get stat queue free. Oh, did I? Okay, no, that's correct there. And then when we pick up, we do that. And actually, does this set the stat then? Oh, it doesn't set the stat. Set, so save load dot add stat get stat. Okay. Well, impressive that I didn't notice that. Okay, so now if we pick this up, it should actually get the stat, and then I can save and exit, and then it should actually work. So that also means, presumably, I'd be able to get, like, copies of all of the stickers as well. I guess the reason I didn't notice this yesterday is because nobody actually, like, had to restart, or because I never turned off the game and then turned it back on. But alright. And then that should mean there's a sticker over here that we can actually get permanently now. Let's see. Oh, I got that sticker somehow. Oh, because presumably the stickers have that already in here. Oh, they don't? I don't get it. Well, I guess such is life. Hang on. Why does find sticker work? So if we go to the player, find sticker, is that because when we save... Oh, because... Okay. I see. Because this should not actually do that, because otherwise... Well... Yeah, let's not kick a bear. We're just gonna have this here as that. Okay, there we are. Okay. And also, I'm going to use uBlock to... Oh, wait, do I have uBlock enabled? Why can't I disable the thing here? I was going to disable the thing that keeps, like, changing in my chat window that bugs me. Why did this not fucking work again? We have items camera, and it's here. It's been... Oh, wait. Oh, because... Wait, what? I have no idea what's happening now. So, like, did I set something wrong? Not stat return. Wait, this is not even the thing that I was looking at. Oh, did I press like F10 or something? Okay, who are we? Intro key. I guess I can check that because we should have that. Because our item ID is something or other. Item/intro key. How did we... It just does whatever it wants. I don't even know. I can't even follow the code here because it doesn't even like... Okay, this is what it's connecting to. But who are we? Camera? So why was the camera not here? Because the camera clearly is here. Okay, items camera. So maybe it should just be has stat. I don't care. This is why I should thoroughly test one change at a time. I have that bad habit of, like, refactoring a million things, and then playing, and then nothing works. Or then, like, you know, having, like, insane bugs that seem to be happening, like, now, but have actually been triggered, like, a week ago. Like, what the fuck is going on? If we go to items, camera, it exists. It is here. This is where it is. This should not be in the state. This should not be in here. Should it be? Did I deliberately set this up this way? So if we go to inventory. I guess I did. Oh, I did encode it this way. Well, why? So does that mean that if we go here, if I did true here, and so that means that actually we don't even need to have, so we don't do that actually at all. We should also have stat allowed to, whatever. Okay, so now it's gone. Good, good, good. Okay. Hmm. All right. Oh, wait, what else did I need to do? So, okay, we fixed, like, unrelated changes. What is my actual next thing to do? So I made the prompt larger. Have it only visible when we have photos to show. Okay, so now what I need to do is I need to actually, like, ooh, how do I do this in an efficient way? Because sometimes things change when we mention things. I guess it'd be anytime we reevaluate the labels. Okay, so I think what I need to do is I need to connect directly to... Let's go to our dialog evaluator. What I need to have is actually signals for notification. Oh, okay, we have that already. Okay, so what would that be? Notifications. Okay, block states here. So I think what I can do is I can just go to dialog evaluator bubble, and for now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do eval dot notifications connect on notifications. And that should be function. Let's go down to like where should I put it? Maybe function here. On notifications pass. What is this actually? Type string states that. There we are. And so that'll be type print states. So yeah, right now I'm just gonna see what these notifications do, because it should be they should run relatively well, or they should run something or other. you know, at times that are correct because I've already set up all the logic for this for at the ends of eras. I guess it doesn't. I guess it doesn't. So when is this run? Notifications, emit. So, but then what is this? Apply block status. When does that run? So that's run here when we evaluate labels. So do we not call evaluate labels? Oh, because we only do that. Okay. Wait. Then we should be calling this. Okay, so it's doing all that stuff. So then if we go to here... So this should run that then. And then that should... Okay. Expected 2 arguments but called with 1. What? So it just doesn't type check this? What the fuck? So what the hell is this supposed to be then? Because, okay. This is a dictionary of dictionaries. Okay, so how the hell have I been... How the hell has it worked so far? If this has just not been correct. Okay, hang on. I need to go to at the ends of eras because this is going to be tantamount to figuring out what the hell's going on here. So if we go to this dialog viewer, or I guess dialog viewer vertical, what the hell's it going to be? UI? Dialog? Dialog UI? Do we have like notifications here? Notifications connect on notifications. Okay, so that is utterly baffling. That it just doesn't have... So this actually does a string to dictionary. Okay, but it's very useful to know that it just has absolutely zero relationship. So yeah, it's nice to know that this type checking is literally nothing. This does nothing at all. It's not checked anywhere. Fuck me. But okay. Then we're good with that. We don't need that anymore. Okay. Well, actually, we do kind of need that. Get that script back. Okay. So what we're going to do is notifications if photo in states var s equals states photo. Or no. Wait, yeah. And that is s is never used in the block. And then what we need to do is for K or for status in S pass for now. Otherwise, we're going to do... let's get our prompt here. So we need to go back to this dialog viewer. Basically, we're going to have like var photos available equals false. Var new photos equals false. Because, yeah, we only need... Here we're going to do photos available equals true. Oh, wait, no. If... Greater than 0 and S status greater than 0. Photos available. True. Actually, wait, how the hell do we do it here? So max notify A, B. Wow, that's really complicated. Max notifications blocks.item. Yeah, because right now we only need a few different statuses. Actually, let's just print for now. Let's just print this status. So I can get a better idea of what this is. But okay, yeah, really funny that notifications, or that Godot's signals just aren't type checked at all. You can add the type checks, they just don't do anything. Okay. So now we get all this stuff correctly. This is what we needed. Okay, so we don't need to worry about planes. So basically what this is saying is there are 2 invalid photos. So we don't have them there. And then there are 15 of these available photos. 3 or 4 that are important. What the hell is this actually? Hang on. I don't actually know what these are. Because I'm pretty sure these are all block states. Yeah, basically it's the count of different states here. But I forget what these states are. Local block state. Oh, okay. It's basically these are new ones. Okay. So we have 15 photos that are new. We have 4 that are completed. We had 2 that were unavailable. Okay. So what we should be able to do is var photos available equals 0. No, false. Or let's just say actually var new photos equals 0. So we're just going to do for states in, or like if photos in states for block state in states dot photos match block state. Let's make this consistent. So this should be a local or dialog evaluator local block state. I guess just an int for now. So we're going to go invalid or optional. Let's have an actual like thing here. So like var L equals dialog evaluator local block state. There we go. We're going to say photos available plus equals states photos block state. L dot, oh wait, no, this should be new photos. And then we should have L dot, completed. And we'll also have, whatever. Photos available will just be, we'll also have new photos. So we'll just do available plus equals new photos. And we're actually going to have L completed and L dot visited. And there should actually be photos available as well. There we go. Okay. Okay, so now what we have here is this prompt should only be visible. Visible equals photos available. And then we should have some new notification here. So like oh wait, no. Let's add a little label. How do I want to do that, actually? I could have it basically as a child of this. No. Let's just add a texture rectangle. And we're just going to get a blah, blah, blah. Fit height proportional? No, fit width proportional. I keep forgetting, basically, fit width means you fit the height of the object, and fit the height means you fit the width of the object, or like the space that you have available. And this will just be new. And then, yeah, prompt slash new dot visible equals, and we'll just say bool here. Or let's just say photos available greater than 0. And then new photos greater than 0. Okay. And I'm going to raise my desk so I can stand. But okay, they should now give us tons of stuff here. Okay, so let's just run through this so that it confirms all my stuff. So if photo in states, we go through each of the block states here, which should have been an integer, but they aren't. Photos on base dictionary. Oh, because it's photo. Hang on. And these are now messed up, but okay. Okay, try it again. So now we have all this stuff. So if block state and photos, if there's block state, if it's one of these, we add the new photos. Okay, that makes sense because it went from invalid to optional in quest, then completed and visited. Okay, so that means that we have 4 photos available, 15 new photos. Okay. So now what we can do is we can use the new photo here. We got that one, which admittedly, it feels like it's not quite right. Because why did it say there's 15 photos available if there's only 1? Oh, it's because there's 15 labels. I think. Wait, what does that mean then? Yeah, because now there's no new photos. Why is it saying there's 15 new photos? Okay, I think now it's because... Oh, now it's because it's going through the labels. It's going through all of the photographs. Oh, So we need to actually go through all of the photos and find the label for the photos. How do I do that then? In like an efficient and timely way. I guess what I just need to do is... If we go back to the... Yeah, so none of this is actually even necessary, really. Well, it kind of is. But instead what we're going to do is, like, for in player, no, UI dot, where the hell are we? Do we have the player? Surely we have the player here. Eval player? Save load photos. L equals eval dot find item photo p dot subjects, and then we just match the block state here. We're gonna actually just do okay. We're gonna change that a little bit, and then actually I want this to not expand. What do I want this actually to be? I think what I want here is actually, this should be like 32. Okay, I think what it is now I do fit height proportional. There we go. Actually, how big is this? 32 by 32. Let's do 64. Oh, but now it's not showing us anything here. Hang on, so why is that? Oh, because now this block says, so if we go to find item, this goes to an item label. Okay, so we need to match. I'm going to call this block. And then we're going to have block.state. And then we don't need these, because we're just going to add one here. And then we don't even need this at all. This just tells us when we've been when something new has happened, basically. But okay, that should be good now. So now we talk to Bill. Key state. Oh, we should do if block, or if not block, continue. Otherwise, we match the block state. But all right. So now we have the use photo prompt, but we don't have any new photos here. So then what I can do is we can go back up to here. And I think we could also even have that at the... we could have that when you go up to a character, it also checks the dialogue again. And then it adds that notification to the talk prompt when you have a new photo. That'd be useful. Because what I can do now, I'll double check that this works. And now we can also see the exact number of photos that'll have a new response, though not the number of unique responses. I'd need to do that by getting, like, the line number for the given prompt. But okay. Okay, so now it says, there's a little exclamation point, it says use photo. Okay. So now we have a notification that should be relatively prominent, and people are like, oh, there's an exclamation point. Presumably that's a thing that I should be looking at. And also, I should eventually replace the star multi-mesh with just a texture, because I didn't realize how high resolution, or because in the underground area, I have a 1024 by 1024 skybox, and that looks plenty big enough. And so I think that would be more compact than just having 40,000 meshes. You know, or little quads. And it shouldn't be too bad. Because basically I'm thinking of having like a sphere, and then you just have it textured. And that way I can also have things, I wanted like the Milky Way as well, and more interesting stuff there. And now, can't use a photo right now. Okay, that's the other thing that I wanted. So we can do that. Wait, why did he do that again? I did not realize that the challenge photo would do that. Okay, hang on. Challenge completed. Where not save load, or no, game get stat. Okay. Because otherwise we should have this be exit. It's a lovely little house. It was nice. We used to live in a big old place. But it's just so much work. Let's see, but there's something about a little cottage or something. Alright, there we go. So now there's actually like a proper thing here. So we can't get infinite... Now there's no infinite, yeah, there we go. Okay, there we go. There we are. Okay, so that was easier than I thought it'd be, but I should also thoroughly check it to make sure that, like, I don't know, it doesn't have, like, irrelevant options or something. And yeah, the next thing I'd want is to have it so that, like, it tells you when they have photos that you can show them that are relevant. Like, well, one, I'd like to have the prompt for, like, using a photo here as well. This is useful. Yeah, this is... There's something I've been thinking about for a little bit. Did I talk about this before? I don't think I have on stream. Basically, the idea that video games are primarily two things. They are simulation and interface. Basically, like, it's not a video game. It's not a video game mechanic unless there's some way for the player to interact with it and view it. You know, like, the sprinklers, they aren't gameplay. Even though they're simulated to, like, you know, come out at certain times a day. Because you can't interact with them, they're not a game yet. I mean, you can, like... Admittedly, the closest thing to gameplay is actually the rainbow that's on the sprinklers. Because that, you can actually interact with by just, like, seeing it. But okay. But alright. So yeah, I think that status should be a bit bigger or something. And then here, I kind of want this to be a little bit... I think I want two different kinds of prompts. I want prompts that are on the right as, like teaching you one time. And then I want prompts along the bottom of the screen for more ambient information. Like, because every time you get into the car, it does that. So it should be, like, the second time it does it, it shows it just along the bottom. I think that'd be good. But I'm going to not do that yet. I'm going to just have that as, like, a... car prompt along the bottom after the first time. But okay, I only have it visible when photos show. Oh yeah, I should double check that that actually was working. Because it seems like it also works when special dialogue is disabled. So it just doesn't show the prompt at all. And hopefully it's not too slow, because that is my main worry with this dialogue, or with the prompts, because it has to go through every photo, and because it's using Godot's, like, expression parser, it could be a good deal slower. But okay. Now it doesn't show that. So that's good. Let's go to, I don't know, that. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to say that's pretty good. Have an indication when you have new photos, disable using photos multiple times in dialogue. Okay. Oh wait, double check that I can use the photos in dialogue, or that using the photos disables using more photos and interrupting the current flow of dialogue. And then I think what I want to do is make the movement speed slower when the player is in dialogue, zoomed in, or placing stickers. And also, here is the bug that somebody found. Now I'm invisible. So I'm curious as to why that happens, but for now it's fine. And also they were confused as to how to, actually, when I do this... Oh, okay, now the mouse wheel works. Why did that not work before? But okay. Basically, they were confused that there's no D-pad prompt to choose stickers. Okay, have I found your husband? No, but I did find you. And then, we can't use the photo right now. Okay, that seems good. Yeah, I don't mind if the player just discovers the interaction of this. Yeah, that's fine. There we are. Okay, so what are the other things that I need? Let's save some of this stuff. And actually, dialog, what's the change here? Oh yeah. There we are. Okay. Okay, so this is various improvements to, or I guess yeah, addressing multiple issues with or let's say fix getting stuck in fridges, improve photo sharing UI. Yeah, because as I've said before, I much prefer having this sort of ambient information where the player will, and actually I'm gonna have this prompt a little more to the left probably. I'm thinking like just a little bit over here, so that way it doesn't interfere as much with that. And I should hopefully, hang on, let's get this. So our grow mode should be, do we have the grow direction here? Presumably I have it set properly. Somewhere in here. I don't care. I'll see if it works. Yeah, that works. And I don't think... Oh, wait, no, there are the achievements in the bottom left, but I don't think those should be very common. Okay. That seems fine. Align... dialog prompt nicer. Because basically, I didn't want it to be in exactly the same position as the prompt to actually talk to characters, because then it's confusing. It's like, it's easy to miss. But I didn't want it to be so close to the ground where it just looked ugly. I want it to be like intentional. Clearly like, okay, this is in a different position because it's a different action. There we go. I have now rectified it in my head. But okay. The raccoon should specify that he likes food, so we should just say, I need some food for the raccoon. Because I don't have money, obviously. So that'd probably be under... So I have to give the raccoon food across the bridge. Okay, is that the only thing that I needed? Yeah, let's say I have to find... Let's say I have to find some food for the raccoon. Yeah, let's say I think you should get a job. Was I doing anything here? Oh yeah, that was to change, that was to fix the collision there. Okay. That hints that. So, Mr. Weston. Okay, let's do, So, have you found my husband? So now what I'm going to do is... I'm working on it. Or, where would he even be? Or, like, do you have, like, any information? Okay. Okay. I can't. Let's say I can't even begin to guess. It's not like him to get lost. The only thing I can think of is when he was... What would I say? Why is this? Pause. There we go. Okay, so... What is a good hint? What is something that's going to be funny, but also hint at the caves? Yeah, what the heck would it be? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to, like, go to my mind palace. Let's imagine an interesting story about Mr. Weston and caves. Maybe he's so good at navigating the caves that he actually found somebody in the caves. Yeah, just last week he found, Yeah, just last week when we were the one when we got turned around in the caves. He was the one knew the way out. Yeah, not terribly creative, but that's gonna just like it's gonna put the word cave in the player's brain, and then they're gonna be like, okay, cave. And then they're gonna see this and they're gonna be like, okay, cave. And a rock that looks like a man. Did he turn into a rock? Actually, maybe I should foreshadow the idea that he did turn into a rock some more. Because I think that's funny, of like the player like walks up to the rock and is like, is that him? Did he actually turn into a rock? And then we turn to the left and it's like, oh wait, no, he's right here. But okay, I'm going to say that cones have a cutscene where the cones lose their power. That would be very important, because yeah, nobody on Earth has ever gotten that the cones are defeated when you talk to Mr. Weston. That it was purely an obstacle in your mind. So yeah, I'm going to have... Actually, we can have that as blocked. And then we're going to have defeat here as... Let's have the cones like have like this basically, and then I'm thinking we just have this cone like fall over. Yeah. Position, rotation. Let's say 1.0. Let's actually have this be renamed to defeat 1. And then we're going to have a new defeat 2, which should actually, hang on. Actually remove that for now. Wait, no, I don't care. Get position, rotation. We also need the FOV here. Yeah, I think 50 is fine. Okay. There we go. Okay, so in defeat 2, so we're gonna have, yeah. This will be like 0.1, and then defeat 2 is just gonna have this cone right here. And I think it's gonna be, don't we have a mode here of like kinematic or something? Solver, deactivation, mass distribution. Freeze mode, let's say kinematic now. Because I'm thinking what we do is we just kind of tip over. So about here. We'll just have position and rotation. So let's see if that looks good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually unfreeze right about here. Gonna unfreeze like that. There we are. So I'm hoping that it'll actually like cause some physics interactions there. There we go. Okay. So let's see if that works. Because now what we need is Weston, his cutscene player. Don't we have a cutscene player? Yeah, we do. That'll be blocked right here. Wait, hang on. Why does this one have a signal attached to it? Yeah, that is not correct. We don't have those there. Signal. Or no, connect. Yeah. Cut scenes. Oh, take your time, kiddo. Dot finished. What did I need here? Wait, what? Deuce? Was it? What the heck was this? Hang on, what did I just... How does this not... Okay. Do. Okay, that's what we needed. And that's because we have the signal do somewhere in here. Yeah. Okay. disconnect that because what we're going to do is just have do connect on intro cutscene finished. There we go. So now we have that connected via script. And yeah, we don't have that at all. Okay, cutscene player. Does this get the player at any point? It does. Okay. So what we should do is when we grab the player, so we have that, then player dot rig dot zoom out or set zoom false. There we go. And actually we should have that there. Wait, I guess it's fine. Okay, but now what I need is when we go to Mr. Weston, so we're just going to do C, grab camera, C, play, defeat 1. And then we should have exit plus latest cone. Oh wait, no. Oh wait, yeah. We can just do this. Okay. Otherwise, exit. Okay, so what we're going to do now is just game set stats. Latest cone. There we are. And then we'll do C, play, defeat 2. Let's just say the cones are now powerless to stop you. And let's see if that actually works, because now the main challenge is getting the cones. Trying to think. No, I guess just making sure the cutscene actually works with the physics, because I want it to be they are whatever the heck it is. Just grab that, and we'll go over there and get that. Where is this? It feels like the crashes are louder the slower you go. Like, it always does the really loud crash. But alright. There we go. Alright, let's sleep the day away, or sit the day away. I should eventually make the moon, like, spawn earlier, I think. Okay, there we are. But yeah, I was mentioning as... Oh yeah, I should put a drop shadow to improve platforming. That'll be Add always visible drop shadow. And I'll probably just do the little, like, multiply layer capsule that I have in at the ends of arrows, because that works pretty well. Oh, wait. I needed you. Okay. It almost worked. I think what I might do is I might just have it like yeah, because you can see it almost did it. But yeah, we need to actually have this, I think, fully tip over sideways. Just have it flop over like that. Position rotation. That's funny. Also, I love that everything defaults to 33 FPS and also nothing defaults to snapping. And then now that I've put these here, unsnapped mode. Ah, well, I'm gonna die. How does that work? How is it like so weird? I'm just gonna remove this rotation. And this position. I don't even know how it's possible that it's doing this. Like, cause what? I have it rotate about one axis. It goes from this rotation. What? Am I stupid? How does this... Okay, delete this rotation. Because I need this to just move along one axis. What the fuck? Just have this be 7. What is wrong with this fucking thing? Wait, what? It's I literally am rotating it by one axis. It's like actually impossible for it to do what it's doing. I think I'd prefer if it actually went the other way. Like if it goes slowly and then it... Yeah. Yeah, that seems more fun. Okay. All right. And actually, we're just gonna do this, and we're gonna say, wait, what? Oh, we should do like a game set stat complete cone. Oh wait, no. Let's do like if not road clear. Otherwise, like, you already knew that. In fact, we don't even need this to be... We can just do that. Okay. I like how janky that is. But okay. I'm stuck as in I'm bored of walking that way. Yeah, I'd really like to have the car... as a thing I can use. Maybe have some sort of special indication for the car. I could use the quest indicator. Basically, what I'm thinking is, whenever you take a photo, or if you show Mr. or the old guy a photo of a car, it should always have the prompt to, like, indicate those photos specifically. But okay, now this is defeated. So yeah, now we can get past that. And we can enjoy the janky interactions of the physics. Lovely. Beautiful. Okay. Next step. So that now should clearly indicate to the player that they can now get past the cones. And then visual bug zoom out when cutscene viewer grabs the camera. Oh yeah. I think I've done that now. So yeah. Because that was caused by... I will show you the bug as it is. So if we just have that there. Let's see. Who has a cutscene? Apollo does. Okay. There we are. See, I want fewer narration bits as well. I don't care about that. So yeah, minor stylistic change. You shake your head. There we go. But okay, this is the bug. So if we come into here, and then, oh, okay, interesting. It zooms out at a particular point. Oh, but it's only when the player is locked in. Okay. So let's try this again. Okay, there we go. But that doesn't actually properly zoom us out. Interesting, because we need to do player.cam zoom, camset zoom false. There, okay. Okay, now try this again. It did. It should work. It must work. Zoom. So when we are B normal, okay, change viz, change viz. So these should both be true. So why is that not happening here? Always update. Oh, okay, I see. Wait, but it doesn't need to always update. Ah, well, whatever. I'll see if that works. Okay. Okay, now let's try not zoomed in. Okay, good. It doesn't play the sound. So basically... Okay. Okay. There we are. So yeah, okay. For some reason, my little sticker UI shows up when I get a sticker. Hang on, let's double check that. So there's a specific bug where when I get a sticker, without the sticker UI being visible, it then shows the follower. Okay. And that's because the follower is, let's see the follower again. So, target not equal null. That's because if we go to sticker UI here. Actually, let's just have change visibility equal something. We're just going to have that in the follower here as like a export var high, or like change visibility equals true. So this is going to be if change visibility, we set that, and that actually means we need to have this be just this same logic there. Okay. And then what we do is we go to the sticker UI and we set this follower to not change visibility. There we go. Basically, the issue was... There we go. Because the sticker, or because that follower is not a child of the node, or it's not... Well, because I have to have a bunch of nonsense here, because otherwise there's a bunch of horrible nonsense here. Well, I guess I could just have a control that it's a child of. I don't care. There was some reason that I didn't do it the way that I didn't do it. But yeah, basically now it should not show that. Good. And then it's visible here. Good. And then this should still work the same way, where, there we are. Admittedly, it'd be funnier if the hand was, like, thematically related, instead of just a plain white hand. Or, like, if it's either Kitty's sleeve or Kitty's hands. Because she canonically has gigantic hands. I think I want a little outline around this. I'm going to just add a little panel around that status there. Panel... Oh wait, no. Panel container. I'm going to have this be like the bottom center, raised up a smidge. There we go. So that should make it so that it looks more intentional and there's a lot less garbage overlapping with itself. Oh wait, and hopefully that doesn't break the thing. No, because the clock is completely independent. So yeah, now that still works. We have our Chivos here. They're under the clock, which is fine, except for it's not fine because we want to actually have that not overlap there. We need to have Chivos not overlap. There we go. There we go. And it was nice. People actually figured out the right stick to scroll the text pretty well. So I might not need a prompt for that. Though I do need the custom, what have yous. The custom tab container things. So what am I doing now? I guess it's all fine. So zoom out when the player grabs that. Player is invisible when zoomed in and out when placing stickers. Let's go to the player. Or no, the camera rig. I think what's happening here is when we set zoom. Toggle zoom, set zoom, okay. Set state, state if first person, else, state. So I think what's happening here is the sticker placer isn't setting a thing. Yeah, okay. I think I know what it is. Actually, what is Z? State equals first person or state equals selfie. Okay, fair enough. Toggle FPS. No, that's not what we need. So where the heck do I set the player's visibility? If we go to player, enter third, so first person. Okay, so I think it's something with this. So was zoomed equals false. We were not zoomed in. And so now we are doing this stuff correctly. Okay. And then if I zoom back out... what? What? Oh, fuck me. I'm trying to do something here. I hate video games. Okay. There we go. So now, we should be in was zoomed. True. And Z should be false. Okay. So if always update or change visibility true, was zoomed is not equal to rig.zoomed. Okay, so we should be exiting first person here. So why aren't we exited first person? It literally said exit first person. And then that means we don't need to have that there. Okay, so that worked. Why didn't that work? What's causing the issue? Because if we do this, we literally call this here. So is there any instance where we kill... let's go back to the camera, maybe. Is it because we're setting... Oh, is it because that's happening? Okay. So that's because we are setting the state to sticker placer. Okay. I see what's happening now. Basically, it's not... Okay. Okay, I see. It's because I'm doing this in a bad way. Okay, I see what I need to do. And it's basically going to be, when we set the zoom, we need to set the zoom to our previous state here. So set zoom, this, and then we'll have like pp state, and this is going to equal state.third person. And basically that's going to be when we do it from the player, set zoom, so right in here, camera rig dot state dot third or sticker placer, if placing stickers, else rig dot state dot third person. And actually this should be can place stickers. And actually I think we need can place stickers to be is placing stickers. And then placing stickers does not exist. Yeah, that doesn't exist. Let's make sure that that all works, because I don't think that that thing should even be... I don't think that that field exists anywhere anymore. Thank you, Godot. There we go. Okay, so we don't need that. Because, yeah, basically what was happening was this FOV tween should not be responsible... No, that wasn't quite it. Yeah, okay. Basically, it shouldn't have gone back to the normal third-person state and then instantly back to the sticker mode. But okay, and it doesn't seem like I used the... Yeah, it doesn't seem like I used the placing stickers property anywhere. Which is good, because it was incorrect. And then the other thing I want, somebody suggested, when you're holding a sticker like this, when you take a photo, it should... What is that button? What is causing that button? That's weird. I'll just put that in bugs. Of just like sounds or something. Sound plays when taking a photo while in sticker mode. But okay, player's invisible, visual bugs. So now, visual improvements, remove enlarging tween on sticker UI. Let's do that by like... Thank you, Godot. In fact, we just delete that. I've literally deleted that exact same file, it seems like. Fix more bugs, I guess, would be the main thing. Okay, and then we go to the sticker UI. And we remove that tween entirely. Because I don't think we even use the tween for anything that's, like, good. Yeah, I don't think we have expand or collapse do anything. And yeah, we don't even have the timer anymore. Delete that. Okay. So now it should just be the size that it was, because yeah, as I mentioned, well, basically I had a thing where I thought I would need to expand the sticker UI to make it look good, but I think it's, you know, even with like 10 stickers, I think this will be perfectly fine. We just have it take up like half the screen, you know. Or with 50, yeah, with 50 stickers, like 10 rows of 5, that should take up a perfectly reasonable amount for like taking a photo here. And then the next thing is to make that imaginary. So we're going to do status, remove, tween. Let's see. I like that YouTube will show a UI prompt to see if you're still there. And then when I go to mouse over it, it disappears. And so I just pause the video myself. I like when computers do more work to do, like, worse work. Because they're always trying to, like, the software developers are always trying to, like, predict what the user's going to do, and then they always predict wrong. Very annoying. I wish they just made... I wish it was still practice to just, like, make tools that enhance a person's ability to do things, rather than trying to obscure it and do things for them. I feel like that's like a fundamental, like, disconnect that I have with modern software. But okay. Remove the enlarging tween, yeah, that's good. Make stickers imaginary, that would be good. So if we go to the player, thank you, Godot, for having 2 things here. I don't even know what this is. What? Okay, that just tells us the current path of the thing that we're looking at, which is interesting. All right. So we need... Where is our sticker preview? That's probably going to be part of the camera rig. Sticker cast, sticker preview. Here, this is imaginary. So now what that means is when we take a photo, the preview of a sticker will not come up. There we are. And I could make it also like transparent or something like that, but I don't care. But what I should do is I should disable repeat on this. So this is standard transparent. Well, I think what it should be is just we just duplicate standard transparent. This will just be sticker. And the only difference between it and the standard transparent is that it has... Oh. Repeat, disable. Which I'm pretty sure nowadays isn't even like an attribute of the shader, so this is just kind of wasting shader spaces. Or like wasting time switching to shaders that don't need it. But okay. Sticker manager. So who is... Okay, we need now this to be stickers. There we go. So now there should be no little, like, pixels around them. Okay. Yeah, so now there's no little pixels around all of our stickers because there's no repeating. And there are some things that I'd want as well, like optional interactions of, for example, somebody put stickers on the lens of the camera. I think that's a funny idea. It'd be funny if that, like, does something, like it just doesn't follow you anymore. Even if it does, like, even if it does nothing. Where's Bill? He's over here. Yeah, maybe actually it could even be a thing where you, like, have to get all of the cameras blocked. But yeah, also NPCs should have, like, interactions if you put stickers on their face or something like that. That was another thing people wanted. But yeah, like, maybe a platforming challenge for each of those. Also, I'm glad players had satisfaction in running over the biker. And they're like, oh wait, that actually does something. I just did that because I wanted to do it. So yeah, like I said, that playtest gave me a lot of hope, because I have been kind of down on the game lately. Yeah. The immense satisfaction of running over people who annoy you with your car. Hmm. I love how, like, dumb the interaction there is. Like, the biker doesn't even, like, listen to you. But also, it was interesting how nobody actually came back here, and nobody... I think I do need to make this a bit more obvious, but maybe it's because there's, like, it was a 9-year-old kid who was, like, distracted by other things. Also, I would not be surprised if this is too difficult for players. Especially because, yeah, it's kind of just a bad platforming section anyway. Let's go back to Bill's house. Or no, let's do that later. Basically, it's just playtest feedback. Let's have that there. Well, actually, I think this visual improvement is less important now. I'm gonna say, yeah, let's complete that. Let's have fix the platforming out of Bill's yard. Yeah, spelled well enough. House Bill, Bill house. I'm very inconsistent with how I spell these. Or with what I write there, how I name them, whatever it is. Words or words and words. Okay, but I need a door. There's somewhere in here there's a door. I do not remember where it is. This one's probably it, or this one. So we got Insta Open, which I'm gonna do as... Does this have keyframes here? Antenna arm, antenna dish. Okay. I want this dish to just be like that, I think. And then antenna arm here. Okay, yeah. I'm not going to do anything crazy. Actually, let's get our keyframes here. Copy. Paste. Copy. Paste. Let's see that. Good enough. I wish I could mute the sounds when I'm, like, testing it. I mean, I guess I can. I can just do, like... No, I can't. There's no mute button. I'd have to fuck with the audio. I mean, I guess I could put it in a mute channel. What if we did stream paused? Interesting. Thank you, Godot, for not working. Okay, well, whatever. That should now make that platforming substantially easier. We should be able to just jump up to the disc from the arm, and then jump onto the little pillars. And then I need to figure out how to make that better. Yeah, we come up over here again. Wait, why did I, like... Why am I sinking into the ground here? What is the deal with this? Oh, I think the slope here is just a little bit too much for me to actually, like, jump on it. Or land on it. Yeah, the movement is just terrible. I did not cook with the movement. Wait, what? Huh? Hang on. What the hell is that? Oh, it's because... okay, cutscene. It's probably because if we go to the doctor... Where is that, actually? Door, white blocks, attic... Hang on. House, doctor. Is it literally just the doctor's house? Or, let's go to... player. No, I'm getting stupid. My brain's, like, falling out of my head. I think it's because I haven't eaten anything today. Yeah, entry alert. This should just disable special dialogue. There we are. And then we won't have any special dialogue for that whole intro cutscene. And actually, I'm going to do the same thing with Linda. Disable special dialogue right there. Interesting. So if you start the game in there, that's funny. Okay. And now we have no photos. Okay, and I don't need that right now because I need to go back to the doctor's house. I want to get the player's position thing here. Yeah, player released should be, like, I don't know, here. But yeah, it's funny if you start the game in the alarm area, the screen doesn't fade out because it's doing all of the other stuff first. Alright. And yeah, this place, it seems fine enough. I think it should be when you are riding in the car. That photo should only come up. So we're going to say doctor, or let's say, I don't know if I'm going to put it in here. Bugs, doctor. Only count photo as pride you are riding. So only count car photo. Because, yeah, right now, it's pretty much any time the player is just in, or, like, in the scene with the car. These don't have their fucking wisps. Again. Nothing ever has its wisp. Nothing ever has its goddamn wisp. If we go here, this has a wisp right there. Which is, I mean, it doesn't even seem like it's in the right place, but whatever. Okay. This one has the same thing. Okay, my stomach is getting aggressive, so I'm going to have to actually, like, do something about that. I'm going to get some food, and I'll be back in, like, 2 minutes. Okay, I'm back. Alright. So, yeah, and that's because basically all my custom wisps broke because I set... Yeah, because I changed it to use node paths because there was some fucked up bug. And eventually... Who knows? Who knows? It just set it wrong. It's fucking non-deterministic, like how properties are set in Godot. It's awesome. I mean, admittedly, these are too close to the door anyway. They just don't look very good. I should probably just make it so that the, I should probably just make it so the speech bubble is just invisible, or visible in front of everything. You know, let's just do that. Yeah, because there's no reason to not have the bubble in front of things. Where is it? It's probably prompt this? And that means I need to have this be a custom thing, so hang on, let's get a prompt. We need to do, or no, we need to go standard UV, or whatever the heck this is. Sprite billboard. Let's just make a unique, or duplicate this to be prompt. And then the only difference between this is that we do depth test never. Disabled, depth, raw, never. Okay, because I can just completely eliminate like half of my problems by just having the prompt in front of the thing that we talk about. Which admittedly makes it kind of like 2D. Well, it still has 3D elements to it. So yeah, now we have like these look good. Yeah, they always look good. The only reason I didn't want this is because I didn't want it in front of the player, but honestly, that seems fine. I don't care. And now we can get inside the fridges. Oh yeah, nobody even met the doctor in the playtest. Didn't I have, like, black on the outside of this? I want it to always be, I want, in most rooms, for it to use this, non-boundary camera, where basically it can clip into the wall a little bit, just to make it so it doesn't get so close to the player. Yeah, this is an insane room. Oh yeah, I already got the thing to get to the door. I forgot. I had that. So now I can get out. What else do I have to do? What else? Oh yeah, let's actually like do tasks that are on my to-do list instead of like playing around. So fix the platforming out of Bill's yard. I did that. Slow the player down when zoomed in, when placing stickers, and when in dialogue. Let's do that. So that'll be if we go to player, move. No, wait, no. Standard body, I think, is where we need to do this. Yeah, because now we need some speed changes here. This is going to be constant speed F. Let's say speed F zoomed will be like 0.5. Constant speed F dialog. I'm going to say this will be even slower, like 0.3. And constant speed F stickers, this will be like 0.8. And basically what I'm going to do is function move. I think it's actually apply state or something like that. Yeah. If state is equal... Actually, let's just do if allows ground contact. Do I want to ignore that? So when not grounded, we do that. If player dot rig dot zoomed. Let's have a var speed up here. Oh wait, I see what I need to do. Okay. We're gonna do var speed equals speed state. And that means we need that there. So we're going to do speed times equals speed F zoomed. Elif player is in... No, UI dot in dialog. Speed times equals F dialog. Elif player dot is placing stickers equals speed F stickers. Okay, there we are. So now what this should do is it should reduce the speed that we move because, yeah, a player was confused by that. And I think it's also going to be a good indication of... Actually, I'm going to have it go from slowest to fastest, which is right now this. So this way the player should notice that they're in dialogue, and they should be like, wait, what the heck is happening? I should have the steps also play at a different speed. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, I love Godot. Or no, I love my keyboard. Okay, so now we have half speed. And I think what it should do is it should also, yeah, I want to have the speed here when we update move. I think that's going to be... I think that's still in the standard body. So, do we have like a sprite? So, when we emote run... speed... No, sprite dot speed scale equals... velocity dot length divided by speed state clamped to like 0.3 to 1. I know. Oh wait, no. Oh yes. If var s equals speed state, if s, do that. Okay. So now we have slower steps. Okay, I like that. And then if we're in dialogue, we can move slower. I'm actually going to have this be limited to like 0.75, I think. Everything else felt too slow. Okay, so now we are slower. Okay. Huh? Oh, because we need to re-enable... Hang on. When we exit dialogue... Exit dialogue. Or end dialogue? Dialogue exited. Yeah, on dialogue exited. UI, dialogue, eval, dot, allow equals true. Okay, so basically what was happening was there's some like unique dialogue mode stuff happening there. Or no, the bug was actually, yeah, when we exited dialogue, it didn't disable or it didn't re-enable special dialogue, and this checks that even when we're not in dialogue. Which actually, that's the deeper issue there. So when we, let's just go to status. Special dialogue. So let's basically do like if UI.in dialogue and not special dialogue allowed, can't use a photo. There we go. Oh wait, I can't even use the status now. Wait, that's crazy. Yeah, that's... Wait, hang on. That's really weird now. Why is that not working? Is it because something happened here? No? That's not where it is. Huh. What is happening with this cutscene? Oh, because we're locked. Okay, because the player's movement is locked, I can't open the status menu. That's strange. Is that something that I want? And also, I hear my brother returning, so I'll just say hi to him real quick. Okay. Let's resume. Alright, so do I want the status menu to be disabled when we are locked in position? Is that a thing that I ever want? When did I enable that? When did I do that? I think I'm just going to change that because I've changed what locked means. I think it's because I used to use locked movement specifically, but now I use locked for a lot more things. So I'm going to do if locked return. I think here I'm going to have it after orb mode here. So you can still use the interaction here. Oh wait, no, we need it for... Ooh, no. Now we're going to do that there. So let's just say if not locked. And then I'm going to have all of this stuff here underneath this. And then we're going to have if photos allowed. And photos allowed will be something or other. And then, yeah, I think we can toggle zoom here. So yeah, let's try this again. So what were the other things that weren't quite right here? I think it's going to be toggling zoom. We should not be able to do that here, probably. Do I care? I think I'm fine with that. I should play Jazz Punk. I've heard this game compared to that. And another interesting comparison somebody had was to Back to the Future, which I've actually never seen. So now I'm kind of curious what similarities he saw in it. I should probably watch Back to the Future just in general. But okay, let's see. What else should I do? So, I don't need those sound effects very much, but okay. Now we have some subtle changes there, so that way the player will probably feel much more that they are in dialogue. Yeah, so now you can still walk around, it still has some satisfaction. Alright. And also, nobody noticed the freezer. I pointed it out to the kid who was playtesting. So yeah, I might want to have it be that there's something on top of the freezer that you can look at. But alright. Also, it was really hard to find, like, a good sample of somebody saying goal, which is why he says touchdown instead, because I just found better announcements for that. Because, yeah, there's not, like, I just didn't see any, like, you know, a compilation of people saying goal, for example. But okay, I don't need to do that. Okay, let's get the other things that I actually need. Yeah, I would like to have the prompts for the car to be less annoying. So I'm gonna have subtle prompts that are, like, at the bottom. Let's do that with an H box. Where would I want that to be? I kind of want it to actually take up the full aspect ratio, but I'm not going to bother. H box container. This will be for prompt full bottom thing here. And I guess it'll be an exact copy of this, except it'll have an H box instead of, actually, yeah, we can just do that. So yeah, change the type of this to H box container. Extends container. So this will be like a tutorial ambient. And I think I'll make this centered. And then I want to have some spacers here. So we're going to have spacer. Okay. Oh, wait. There we are. Okay, there we go. Okay. So now we can do that. So tutorial, go tutorial. And here we're going to have ambient equals false. It's going to be if ambient tutorial play t else that show zoom tutorial. I think the zoom tutorial will always be ambient, and actually I'm kind of fine with having it be like this, where it's at the bottom. And then show camera tutorial, so that's important to have at the top. And actually, I'm going to have if state dot, or if save load dot, no, I know what to do. Load dot get stat tutorial zoom. Did the music stop again? Okay. And then we actually do save load dot add stat tutorial zoom. So basically the first time you see it, it's big. And then the second time you see it, it's small. And the exact same thing should happen with the car, which I think is actually going to be car in here. I think this does its tutorial. Where is that tutorial? Maybe in the player? Okay, and we already have that. That's good for the car there. Player car absolute momentum. So show tutorial tut when save load get stats player car. There we are. There we are. So now, the first time we get into the car, it'll show the prompt really big on the side, and then the next time we get into the car, it'll show it smaller. And so now this should be much less annoying, because it's just on the bottom. Yeah, accelerate, brake, handbrake, LS, jump the car. Nice, taking care of them. And that means that when we zoom in, it should show that big at first, and then the next time we zoom in, it's at the bottom. And yeah, because there's already a bunch of UI, it shouldn't be very intrusive at all. I think honestly I prefer that over having like a proper like
because my other alternative was to have like a permanent thing there, but I'm fine with actually having just this concept of the ambient tutorial. Where it's like it always shows that at the bottom. And I'm fine if it like overlaps with things as well, I think, because I don't care very much. So yeah, that was card prompts at the bottom. Always visible drop shadow. Oh yeah, that'd be good. Have zoomed in UI. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say these are going to be like save it for the end otherwise. Because I do think there's something there. I don't care that much though. What is this? Common art cars? Oh. Well, we already did Mrs. Weston and the... Yeah, so we don't need that at all. Games with Apollo. We got that, actually. Blank picture frames. More interior walls. I'm going to say also some covered furniture. And yeah, I think my deadline for submitting to PAX is going to be... Oh, wait, no. My deadline for... So here, the deadline is actually going to be June 1. Because I'm going to submit to have it approved, because it actually... it takes a couple days to get approval. And you need to submit by June 3rd, I think, to get approval in time. And then also, if you have it submitted earlier and approved earlier, people in the media can get early access to all the demos. So I think that'd be good. Yeah, I like that. It's less annoying. Though admittedly, I mean, once you've driven the car, you don't really need it that often, but I figure... I feel like it is good to have it, though, in case the player hasn't played in a while or something like that. Or, you know, they didn't do all the controls the first time. You know, because they might need a reminder that you can jump with the car, for example. Because I'm not doing, like, a big tutorial for it. Yeah, I think that's much better. It's much less annoying. Okay. Ambient tutorials. So environment art, what am I looking for? Revealing the Chivo. Oh yeah, we don't really need that yet. We do kind of need UI theming. I'm going to worry about that later. Okay, where's my playback testing? Always visible drop shadow. That's my last bit of like vital playtest stuff. If I go back to Jack 4, in here there should be a drop shadow. Player. Okay, there we are. And I'm going to say, I'm just going to put it underneath. I think I'll put it underneath the player's standard body instead of anything else. Mesh, instance, 3D. Because, yeah, we don't need anything fancy. We're going to do, like, 1.2 or something like that. And then, like, 8 radial segments and 2 of these or whatever. And then this will have a shader. And that's going to be... Where the hell is it going to be? Shaders? Drop shadow? Okay. So where is our capsule thing? Shader parameters. This is going to be 0.26. Let's put this at 0.24, actually. And then this is going to be like 1.2 or whatever the capsule's height was. Offset. What does offset mean? I'll put that at like 0.5. And we should be able to see something or other, but I guess maybe not until later. Okay. Make this, or let's see this in action, because basically there should just be a little dark circle underneath the player. I don't see it. Hang on. Save this as drop shadow material. And then if we go to the world, and if we see the player somewhere, hang on. I need to sit in like a proper position now. When we get player, let's get a grabber and like move this somewhere. Okay, there we are. Actually, turn that off. So I should be able to see if we go to drop shadow. Does this change anything? Maybe this offset needs to be... Oh, I see. I saw something. So at exactly like 0.6 to 0.065 or whatever. Okay. So let's double check what this is doing. I should have added comments to this. Oh yeah, and in HDR, this needs to be 4. Huh? Oh, I see. Because this is moving to God knows where for God knows why. Oh yeah, because like there's like 16 different things that are competing. Okay, so we don't need that there. Oh, wait. You can see now. It worked, kind of? No. It did not. Screen UV, pixel position, pixel... So what is offset doing that's changing things? Because yeah, I made this at some point. So distance dot... So we got our node position world. Distance equals capsule radius. Distance above, distance below. Let's move the grabber somewhere else. Like right next to a wall, for example, to see if I can understand like what the capsule will be doing. Because we should be able to see like a multiply layer. You can see kind of what it's doing. But yeah, for whatever reason, it's 0 here. I think it's because I think it's because they changed how the depth texture works at some point, or something like that. No, but this should work because it's just the same thing that's at the ends of arrows, and I think that the drop shadow works there. Maybe it's because this isn't right. So what is this doing? What if we got the world position here? Oh, wait, what? Oh, I see. That's supposed to be a vector 3. Okay. So we got our world position, which doesn't seem to be changing much. Well, I guess it wouldn't change at all because it's not based on anything. So if we get... Yeah, so I'm not seeing what I expected to see, which is a color that would actually change based on like our X, Y, and Z coordinates. Oh wait, I think it is. Okay. It's because this is a screen coordinate. Is it pixel position then that I actually want here? Because I want the world coordinates. No, I guess I don't want the world coordinates. What the fuck do I want then? What am I looking for? I'm trying to understand. Okay, I think this U position is kind of what I want. No. Because this is also dependent on the camera, you can see there. Yeah, the only difference is that this one I'm assuming is also based on like the W axis. Yeah, this just doesn't seem like it's the thing that I'm looking for. Yeah, because we need to get the position of the pixel in world space. So this gets our depth. And then we get the... Yeah, that makes sense. And then we're going to do... Why is this called U position? I'm going to call this like screen position, because I think that's what this is. Right? Because this is screen UV, so it goes from like... Instead of going from 0 to 1, it goes from -1 to 1. And then our depth also does the same thing. It goes from 0 to 1 to -1 to 1, I believe. And then our inverse projection matrix. Do we need the inverse projection matrix here? I think we would. Yeah, because we're going from 2D coordinates. No, I think we don't need this here. Or we would use that here, basically. So yeah, let's check, first of all, screen position. Right, I keep accidentally pressing Control S when I mean to do, like, whatever I need to press to actually make the arcane ritual of this work. But okay, this should be... Yeah, -1 to 1 on the y-axis, and then 1 to -1 here. And then also I'm going to do blend mix. Yeah. I should also double check that this is correct. So if we did like OpenGL coordinates. Okay, I think X is correct, Y is not, I believe. So I think that our screen position.y times equals -1. 0.0. And then we have the correct actual like screen position coordinates. And then the question is, where is the Z here? Isn't there supposed to be, like when we do depth here? Or let's say clip space. Clip position. Because yeah, I think it's because we're just so close to 0. Yeah, I think because I have to go all the way out before it becomes 1, right? Is that how it works? Yeah, because Z should, yeah, because Z comes toward us. Wait, what? So clip position dot xy times, or no, zy, yz times equals -1. So then it's like bigger up close. No, that's wrong. Yeah. OpenGL, clip volume, or clip space, coordinates. Okay, clip space. Just tell me what the fucking top left of the screen is called. Is it 1 or -1? They're doing some weird shit where they're deciding their own arbitrary coordinate system instead of teaching the actual coordinate system, it seems. Okay. Maybe the Chronos wiki will just have a picture of, like, the top left of the screen. Because, like, this says the opposite of what this says. Okay. Left, right. Y is actually bottom. Okay, so that's correct, except that should still be Y, I believe. Okay. Positive, negative. Perfect. And then that leads to the big question of, like, is this actually the world space, then? Yeah, because I think this should be. Because basically we take the inverse, we take the clip, we turn it into the frustum position by taking the inverse of it. And then we turn that into the world position. So this should be world position. And it should be independent. It should not be dependent on the depth that we're looking at it from. But also, I'm seeing here that it isn't changing properly. Yeah, it should not be here. And furthermore, where did our depth go? I'm gonna look up just Godot depth to world space. Because I literally have that with, for example, if we go to depth plane here, the world normal. So yeah, we have our screen position here. So I think this isn't required. Vec for frustum position equals this times clip position. And then this is frustum position. And yeah, rename this to world position. divided by world position.w. Or yeah, world position. It also doesn't seem to be accounting properly for the depth here. Oh wait, because we need to have depth draw disabled? Never? Oh wait, I fucked up again. I pressed S instead of, like, saving the shader using some other cursed incantation. Okay. So yeah, you can see here, our primary issue is this should be showing the objects behind us. Let's look up the depth, actually. Okay, so we at least have that. So here, at least, we're getting this stuff. So that means something is going wrong when I try to do our clip space. Oh, because this seems to be wrong. So if we did clip position here, was that literally it? Okay, because now we actually have some, like, signs of hope. We have, like, the X there. But isn't the depth texture from, like, 0 to 1? Or does it go from -1 to 1? Okay, but then we should probably be able to get W position. Okay, so now we can see stuff behind it as well. Pretty colors. I really like the colors of that, actually. But okay, and then we can get the world position there. And as you can see, that, like, rapidly, like, blows out because naturally X, Y, and Z are quite big. But at the origin there, you can see it's 0. But okay, and then we can go distance. Okay. So we're back to where we were. So this is the distance from the center of this object. And then distance above, distance below. So we should have V distance here. Or Vec3. V distance. Just to see that how that looks. Okay, fair enough. Let's try this now. Okay. So now we can see what the actual shader is going to be doing. So now we can start fiddling with this drop shadow material and, like, changing things here. So, like, we can have this. This should be 0.24. Then capsule height should be, like, 1.2. Then this offset can be something else. We can have, like, right about there as, like, the most visible shadow. Because basically what that means is when the player's standing here, the shadow will be less prominent. And then as the player goes up, it's most visible right about there. And it slowly fades out right about there, as you can see. And then we can change this back. Blend, multiply. And now we have two different shadows. We have an always visible drop shadow that slowly fades out as we get further. Okay. And that should always work. Try it again now. So now the main issue is the shadow's a bit too dark on the player. Actually, we can just make it gray. So we can just change the color of this to, like, that. So now if we're in shadow, we still have a little shadow over underneath us. I think it should be wider, actually. I want it to be... I think I'm going to do, like, 2 meters even, or something like that. Shadow mesh. Let's have this be... No, not the shadow mesh. The drop shadow. Yeah, this thing's going to have, like... I'm going to say 0.5 and 2. And then, yeah. 0.5, 2. And then, well, maybe not so big. Well, maybe so big, actually. I kind of like how big the shadow is, kind of. And then we still have the other little shadow there. This feels like weirdly photorealistic. It's like a little ambient occlusion or something. Though it does also go through walls. So it's not perfectly realistic. Yeah, it feels weirdly smooth for the rest of the game. I could have it, like, banded deliberately. I think I like the incongruity. I'm gonna make it a little more subtle, though. Does that actually work? I don't even think that's applying here. I mean, I guess I could change the hue to actually see. Okay, that is the actual color that's applying. Yeah, let's make it even brighter. Just make it almost completely white. And then let's just slowly, like, I don't know, march halfway. Yeah, I think that feels about right. Just enough so that you can, like, see the player's position in space. Though I think I should also make it a bit... I should shrink it back down a bit, because 0.5 was too much. 0.3. And then we'll update this as well. Yeah, that feels good. Yeah, I like that. And then let's make sure the... So, how do I want this to interact? Actually, keep that where it was. Because I think that offset is from the center origin point of the capsule. And it's pretty subtle at night, but it does add just a little bit of, like, positioning information. Yeah, I think that's good. So yeah, now we have a couple different shadow modes. And this will also work when the shadows are completely disabled. If we go to shadow quality disabled. Yeah. But I want high quality shadows and high quality anti-aliasing. Which I'm pretty sure doesn't... Well, it doesn't even work for like 99% of the things in the game because, Most of them have, like, the nearest sampled textures. But oh well. Oh, I didn't realize you can jump out of that. That's funny. Oh, and I didn't realize that this, you can jump up into here. Do I like that? I guess I kind of do like that, actually. Basically, it's because that, doesn't have backface collisions specified. But okay. I like that. That's good enough for the drop shadow. Drop shadow. Oh wait, and I forgot to add, I forgot to have that there. Git commit amend A. There we are. Okay, so now we can start resuming the puzzles, I think. Yeah, I think I want the intro to have the better puzzle. Because, yeah, the pack submission, I don't think it has a unique thing now. What are the things that I had on the timeline? We've gone so far off the range on this. Make sure Mama Bear throws us in a reasonable direction. I think I did that. Automatically open fridge when going up ladder. I don't care that much. Bill's porch decor, submit to 6. We got that. Oh, did I need a 1x1 logo? I didn't do that, I don't think. Backrooms narration. I don't need that very much. Full controller rebinding. Not for the demo. Make metal sounds louder. I did that. I remixed all the sounds. But Doctor should not travel. Yeah, I've removed traveling completely. That would be good. Chivo UI. Progress update. Fix the sticker UI. No interact prompt. Can currently interact if you can't place a sticker. I fixed both of those. Basic furniture. I'm going to say no longer in here. Empty house. Creepier eye. Yeah, let's fix that a little bit. Or if we go to paint, eye. Spooky eye. Actually, let's open this in the file manager. Do I have a Krita file for this? Yeah, that felt like overkill. Open. Actually, just delete this whole thing. I like those spooky eyes where, like, the iris takes up almost the entire thing. Would that feel like a spooky little eye? Kind of? Hmm. Trying to make this feel more even. Is this about right? Doesn't feel symmetrical. I think because this isn't symmetrical. I don't like that very much. No, I don't like that very much either. I think this would look better like that. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, there we go. Let's see that eye in action. There we go. Okay, go into here. And this should be called, they should use the sticker thing. So if we go to our empty house, and if we go to that eye, wait, what? Where is it then? I see you there. Where is it? Is it in the missing girl then? Okay, I see. And then this should have material override, sticker. With, I. Wait, no, it shouldn't. That's stupid. I guess I should have billboard. Sprite billboard local or something. And then we have the eye here. Okay. Oh wait, but that's not gonna do the fucking depth test disable thing. Okay, so we can't have that. But we can have repeat disabled somewhere in here. Because I think that's the issue, maybe? Because there's like little pixels. Billboard, transparent shaded, double-sided alpha cuts. Do we need transparent? I'll ignore that. Nah, whatever. Oh yeah, I forgot that I made it so that now your footsteps change. Okay, is there Yeah, you can see that there's a fucking... the texture repeats slightly. So, like, how do I fix that without, like, just making a new thing? I guess I can just make it 1 pixel smaller. Or make it more symmetrical. I don't care right now. Basically, just make it so... Make eye spooky eye sprite not have repeating texture. I don't want to have, like, another duplicate of the shader with 1 parameter change to disable the depth test, basically. Is my only... or the only reason that I'm not doing it right now. Yeah, I think my main issue is that the platforming feels bad, still. It's really hard to jump onto things, especially sloped surfaces. Like the logs there still feel awful. And I'm not sure how to actually make them feel better. Yeah, because you can see that basically if I jump at some locations, it just... whatever. I can just have, like, a different thing there. I can just change what it's... you know, what the player is jumping on. It doesn't even make sense for there to be logs there. What else would be interesting there? Maybe mattresses, other things. But okay, so we've slightly changed the eye. I don't think I've actually really done anything to make it feel different. Actually, I kind of don't even like the new one. Okay, and this is definitely a 100% tiny detail. Family portrait for the Westons. Pick a location. That would be interesting. I don't want that, though, for this thing. Yeah, so I'm just going to say that'll be somewhere else. Photograph trash cans and fridge, yeah. Add 6 p.m. song. That is also another thing that I could do later. Gas station manager, me... Wasn't there somebody else that I needed? No, I did everything else, I think. Add an exclude flag to Krita sprites. Didn't I do this? I think I did that. Unique speech bubbles for each character. That is officially kicked down the road to like 27th or something. That would be neat. And I think the speech bubbles are good enough, honestly. At least for the demo, I think. How to deal with different aspect ratios for the challenge photo, framed photo, ghosts. Let's shove this down the road as well. Wait, it's the 22nd, so I'm still behind. Do I want this? I do. There's so much stuff that I want. Okay, well, I need to use the bathroom, and I got a lot of work to do. So what I'm going to do is use the bathroom, and then probably take a walk, and then do more work off-stream. So yeah, I'll just call it a day right now. But okay. Thank you for watching. I'll see you later.